Day 136, Royal Kingdom, 2 Samuel 18, 1 Chronicles 23, Psalm 36, let's begin. 2 Samuel 18. And so David, having reviewed his people, appointed over them tribunes and centurions. And he placed a third part of the people under the hand of Joab, and a third part under the hand of Abishai, the son of Zeruiah, the brother of Joab, and a third part under the hand of Ittai, who was from Gath. And the king said to the people, I, too, will go forth with you. And the people responded, You shall not go out. For if we flee, there will not be great concern in them for us. Or if 1/2 part of us will fall, they will not care much. For you are considered as 1 for 10,000. Therefore, it is better that you should be in the city to strengthen us. And the king said to them, I will do whatever seems good to you. Therefore, the king stood beside the gate. And the people went out by their troops, by hundreds and by thousands. And the king ordered Joab and Abishai and Ittai, saying, Preserve for me the boy Absalom. And all the people heard the king commanding all the leaders on behalf of Absalom. And so, the people departed into the field against Israel. And the battle took place in the forest of Ephraim. And the people of Israel were cut down in that place by the army of David. And a great slaughter occurred on that day, 20,000 men. Now the battle in that place was dispersed over the face of all the land. And there were many more of the people whom the forest had consumed, than the sword had devoured on that day. Then it happened that Absalom, riding on a mule, met the servants of David. And when the mule had entered under a thick and large oak tree, his head became trapped in the oak. And while he was suspended between heaven and earth, the mule on which he had been sitting continued on. Then a certain one saw this and reported it to Joab, saying, I saw Absalom hanging from an oak. And Joab said to the man who had reported it to him, If you saw him, why did you not stab him to the ground, and I would have given you 10 shekels of silver and a belt. And he said to Joab, Even if you weighed out to my hands 1,000 silver coins, I would never lay my hands on the son of the king. For in our hearing the king ordered you and Abishai and Ittai, saying, Keep from me the boy Absalom. Then too, if I had acted with such audacity, against my own life, this would never have been able to be hidden from the king. And would you then have stood by my side? And Joab said, It will not be as you wish. Instead, I will be assailing him in your sight. Then he took 3 lances in his hand, and he fixed them in the heart of Absalom. And while he was still clinging to life upon the oak, 10 young men, armor-bearers of Joab, ran up, and striking him, they killed him. Then Joab sounded the trumpet, and he held back the people, lest they pursue Israel in their flight, for he was willing to spare the multitude. And they took Absalom, and they threw him into a great pit in the forest. And they piled an exceedingly great heap of stones over him. But all of Israel fled to their own tents. Now Absalom had raised up for himself, when he was still alive, a monument, which is in the valley of the king. For he said, I have no son, and so this shall be the memorial to my name. And he called the monument by his own name. And it is called the hand of Absalom, even to this day. Then Ahimaaz the son of Zadok said, I will run and report to the king that the Lord has accomplished judgment for him, from the hand of his enemies. And Joab said to him, You shall not be the messenger on this day. Instead, you shall report on another day. I am not willing for you to give the report today, because the son of the king is dead. Then Joab said to Hushai, Go, and report to the king what you have seen. Hushai reverenced Joab, and he ran. And Ahimaaz the son of Zadok said to Joab again, What prevents me from running after Hushai also? And Joab said to him, Why do you want to run, my son? You would not be the bearer of good news. And he responded, But what if I do run? And he said to him, Run. Then Ahimaaz, running along a shorter way, passed Hushai. Now David was sitting between the 2 gates. Truly, the watchman, who was at the summit of the gate upon the wall, lifting up his eyes, saw a man running alone. And crying out, he told the king. And the king said, If he is alone, there is good news in his mouth. But as he was advancing and drawing nearer, the watchman saw another man running. And so, crying out from the height, he said, "Another man has appeared, running alone." And the king said, "This one also is a good messenger." Then the watchman said, "The running of the closest one seems like the running of Ahimaaz, the son of Zadok." And the king said, "He is a good man, and he arrives bearing good news." Then Ahimaaz, crying out, said to the king, "Be well, O king." And reverencing the king prone on the ground before him, he said, "Blessed be the Lord your God, who has enclosed the men who had lifted up their hands against my lord the king." And the king said, "Is there peace for the boy Absalom?" And Ahimaaz said, "I saw a great tumult, O king, when your servant Joab sent me, your servant. I know nothing else." And the king said to him, "Pass, and stand here." And when he had passed, and stood still, Hushai appeared. And approaching, he said, "I bear good news, my lord the king. For today the Lord has judged for you, from the hand of all who had risen up against you." But the king said to Hushai, "Is there peace for the boy Absalom?" And responding, Hushai said to him, "May the enemies of my lord the king, and all who rise against him for evil, be as the boy is." And so the king, being greatly saddened, ascended to the upper room of the gate, and he wept. And as he went, he was speaking in this manner, "My son Absalom! Absalom, my son! Who can grant to me that I may die on your behalf? Absalom, my son! My son, Absalom!" 1 Chronicles 23. Then David, being old and full of days, appointed his son Solomon as king over Israel. And he gathered together all the leaders of Israel, with the priests as well as the Levites. And the Levites were numbered from the age of 30 years and upward. And there were found 38,000 men. Of these, 24,000 were chosen and distributed to the ministry of the house of the Lord. Then 6,000 were overseers and judges. Moreover, 4,000 were porters. And the same number were the singers of psalms to the Lord, with the musical instruments which he had made for the music. And David distributed them into courses according to the sons of Levi, specifically, Gershom, and Kohath, and Merari. The sons of Gershom, Ladan and Shimei. The sons of Ladan, the leader Jehiel, and Zetham, and Joel, 3. The sons of Shimei, Shalamoth, and Haziel, and Haran, 3. These were the leaders of the families of Ladan. Then the sons of Shimei, Jahath, and Ziza, and Jush, and Beriah. These were the sons of Shimei, 4. Now Jahath was first, Ziza second, but Jush and Beriah did not have many sons, and for this reason they were reckoned as one family and one house. The sons of Kohath, Amram and Izhar, Hebron and Uzziel, 4. The sons of Amram, Aaron and Moses. Now Aaron was separated so that he might minister in the Holy of Holies, he and his sons forever, and so that he might burn incense to the Lord, according to his right, and so that he might bless his name in perpetuity. The sons of Moses, the man of God, were also numbered in the tribe of Levi. The sons of Moses, Gershom and Eleazar. The sons of Gershom, Shebuel the first. Now the sons of Eleazar were Rehabiah the first. And there were no other sons for Eleazar. But the sons of Rehabiah were multiplied exceedingly. The sons of Izhar, Shelemith the first. The sons of Hebron, Jeriah the first, Amariah the second, Jehaziel the third, Jechamim the fourth. The sons of Uzziel, Micah the first, Ishiah the second. The sons of Merari, Mali and Mushi. The sons of Mali, Eleazar and Kish. Then Eleazar died, and had no sons, but only daughters. And so the sons of Kish, their brothers, married them. The sons of Mushi Mali, and Eder, and Jerimoth, 3. These are the sons of Levi, and their kindred and families, leaders in turns, and the number of each of the heads who were doing the works of the ministry of the house of the Lord, from 20 years of age and upward. For David said, "The Lord, the God of Israel, has given rest to his people, and a habitation in Jerusalem even unto eternity. Neither shall it be the office of the Levites any more to carry the tabernacle with all its equipment for use in the ministry." Also, according to the last precepts of David, the sons of Levi shall be counted by number from 20 years of age and upward. And they shall be under the hand of the sons of Aaron, in the care of the house of the Lord, in the vestibule, and in the chambers, and in the place of purification, and in the sanctuary, and in all the works of the ministry of the temple of the Lord. But the priest shall be over the bread of the presence, and the sacrifice of fine wheat flour, and the unleavened cakes, and the frying pan, and the roasting, and over every weight and measure. Yet truly, the Levites shall stand to confess and to sing to the Lord, in the morning, and similarly in the evening. As much in the oblation of the holocausts of the Lord, as in the Sabbaths and new moons and other solemnities, according to the number and ceremonies for each and every matter, perpetually before the Lord. And let them keep the observances of the tabernacle of the covenant, and the rituals of the sanctuary, and the observance of the sons of Aaron, their brothers, so that they may minister in the house of the Lord. Psalm 36. A psalm of David himself. Do not choose to imitate the malicious, either should you envy those who work iniquity. For they will quickly wither away like dry grass, and in like manner to kitchen herbs, they will soon droop. Hope in the Lord and do good, and dwell in the land, and so you shall be pastured with its riches. Delight in the Lord, and he will grant to you the petitions of your heart. Reveal your way to the Lord, and hope in him, and he will accomplish it. And he will bring forth your justice like the light, and your judgment like the midday. Be subject to the Lord and pray to him. Do not choose to compete with him who prospers in his way, with the man who does injustice. Cease from wrath and leave behind rage. Do not choose to imitate the malicious. For those who are malicious will be exterminated. But those who remain with the Lord, these will inherit the land. Yet still a little while, and the sinner will not be. And you will search his place and find nothing. But the meek shall inherit the earth, and they will delight in the multitude of peace. The sinner will observe the just, and he will gnash his teeth over him. But the Lord will laugh at him, for he knows in advance that his day will come. The sinners have drawn the sword, they have bent their bow, so as to cast down the poor and the needy, so as to massacre the upright of heart. Let their sword enter into their own hearts, and let their bow be broken. A little is better to the just than the many riches of sinners. For the arms of sinners will be crushed, but the Lord confirms the just. The Lord knows the days of the immaculate, and their inheritance will be in eternity. They will not be confounded in an evil time, and in days of famine they will be satisfied. For sinners will perish. Truly, the adversaries of the Lord, soon after they have been honored and exalted, will fade away, in the same way that smoke fades away. The sinner will lend and not release, but the just one shows compassion and donates. For those who bless him will inherit the earth, but those who curse him will perish. The steps of a man will be directed by the Lord, and he will choose his way. When he falls, he will not be harmed, because the Lord places his hand under him. I have been young, and now I am old, and I have not seen the just forsaken, nor his offspring seeking bread. He shows compassion and lends, all day long, and his offspring will be in blessing. Turn away from evil and do good, and dwell forever and ever. For the Lord loves judgment, and he will not abandon his saints. They will be kept safe in eternity. The unjust will be punished, and the offspring of the impious will perish. But the just will inherit the earth, and they will dwell upon it forever and ever. The mouth of the just one will express wisdom, and his tongue will speak judgment. The law of his God is in his heart, and his steps shall not be supplanted. The sinner considers the just one and seeks to put him to death. But the Lord will not abandon him into his hands, nor condemn him, when he will be judged. Wait for the Lord, and keep to his way. And he will exalt you, so as to inherit the land that you may seize. When the sinners will have passed away, then you shall see. I have seen the impious overexalted, and lifted up like the cedars of Lebanon. And I passed by, and behold, he was not. And I sought him, and his place was not found. Keep to innocence, and gaze upon fairness, because there are allotments for the peaceful man. But the unjust will be destroyed together, the allotments of the impious will pass away. But the salvation of the just is from the Lord, and he is their protector in time of tribulation. And the Lord will help them and free them. And he will rescue them from sinners and save them, because they have hoped in him.